Hey, good afternoon, Lifespan Development. Welcome back. Welcome to week 16. Can you believe it? We've only got 2 weeks left of our course. I can barely believe it. I just wanted to give you a heads up, though. I'm a little out of it, a little tired. I ran the Oklahoma City full marathon. This finished up earlier a few hours ago, and been trying to rest up and drink some coffee and eat and recover. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little dazed and kind of a little out of it. But anyways, I thought about posting this video. Thought about posting it, yesterday, recording it yesterday before the race. But I thought, hey, I wanted to share my accomplishment with my class, and because I think it's really important, to set goals and to push yourself. And this has taught me that more than anything is that, if there's something you want to do and it's something hard, and it makes you kind of push yourself, then I to do it. So I don't know, I'm just sort of throwing out the advice there. If there's anybody in this class that's kind of thinking about, there's something I've been wanting to do that kind of pushes myself, so to speak, maybe a little bit, pushes my limits, but I've, kind of been putting it off, whether it's like learning a new language, or it doesn't have to be a marathon or anything. It could be learning a new language or learning a new instrument, or I don't know, something like that. Something like that is kind of getting outside your comfort zone. I just urge everyone just to do it. Just go for it. Life is short, as we're kind of getting to the end of this course, which is oddly about the topic of our demise. So it's weird to talk about that now, but I mean, it is. Life is short. It's finite. It's impermanent. So push yourself. Have fun. Push your limits and grow. That's how we grow. We don't grow. We don't grow by being comfortable. We grow by being uncomfortable. So, anyways, welcome back. Welcome back. 2 weeks left in the course. I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder to submit your second and last writing assignment for the course, which is case study 2. I noticed that there, I think so far, maybe about less than a third of the classes posted theirs, and I've been grading them a little bit here and there as they've gotten in. I'll start grading them more seriously. Well, I say seriously, grading more of them at a time as they come in. So just friendly reminder, it's due Monday night, 11:59 p.m. Please get it in before that so you don't incur a late penalty. I know we don't have too many assignments or too much grades left, so I want to make sure you get all the points you can. So, if you've got it done or you're close to being done, just finish and get it off your plate is my recommendation. But so far, they've been really good. So there's that. And when you finish, you'll want to go ahead and begin our last 2 chapters. I can't believe it. We only have 2 chapters left in the course. Chapters 19, which is about socio-emotional development in late adulthood. So you're going to get some more Erikson, getting into those last stages of development. The last stage, stage number 8. Erikson's one of my favorite theorists, and we're kind of closing out there. Getting to look at the role that personality, the self, and society has in terms of aging, getting to that last stage. We're in our very last stage of development, so how does that, what role do families and social relationships play, romantic, platonic? What is the differences in terms of aging and that experience in terms of ethnicity, gender, and culture? And then kind of looking at what makes aging successful. So that's really the last stage, or the last sort of stage of development we're looking at is late adulthood. After that, we are moving on to our last chapter, which is about our own. It's about our own mortality. It's about death, dying, and grieving. So really, it's weird to say this, but I want you to think about death this week, and I kind of want you. Our next discussion, our last discussion post, is about thinking about your own death. So I want you to sort of think about that topic this week. It's not maybe the most fun topic. It's definitely kind of grim at some point, but it's inevitable. None of us is going to make it out of here alive. So it is important to think about. We're going to be looking at so this chapter is covering a lot of things, looking at the death system and cultural context, kind of how different cultures treat death, looking at defining death, and also sort of this life sort of issues, maybe getting into sort of philosophical issues about life and death. Whether is it the end or is it the beginning? I mean, there's a lot there. Not everybody thinks about that in the same ways. Looking at different perspectives on death, looking at the reality of facing your own death, and then kind of coping with the death of somebody else, because obviously we're going to pass, so therefore the people around us are going to pass inevitably as well, unfortunately, and kind of how to deal with that. It's not easy. It's not, and this is not a prescription or a guide to say, here's how you deal with death and without it sucking, because it's not going to suck. Dealing with our family members, friends, even pets, and people like, and it doesn't have to be humans, like dealing with our fur babies, and all the, and our, even it doesn't have to be fur babies, it can be, you have a lizard, or you have a fish, or a parrot, that's really hard. And so this chapter is going to be looking at that, not only dealing with our own mortality, but the mortality of those around us, and that's a pretty tough subject. But I do want you to think about death this week, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just embrace it. Think about it. It's inevitable, but it doesn't have to be so awful. So, read those chapters. There is one last discussion, and the reason why I want you to think about mortality is because that's what the discussion is about. So, one way or another, I'm forcing you to think about it. You're going to have to think about your own death and kind of compare it to maybe you thought about it differently when you were younger compared to now. I want to know kind of what your perspective is now versus, maybe what it used to be. Do a little compare and contrast, thinking about where you were and where you are now. I want to give you a heads up. That's kind of it for the week. We do have a discussion post due by Friday. Heads up, I'll be posting our last exam. I'll post that most likely on Saturday, and you will have until that following Friday to take the exam. I have to get grades in by that weekend, so I have to cut it off by Friday. But so your last exam will cover 17, 18, 19, and 20. So just a heads up, you'll have about a week to take the exam, but it'll go until next Friday. So that's when I have to post grades. So if you have any questions concerning your grade, concerning, really what's left is one discussion post, the writing assignment you're currently working on, and our last exam. So you should kind of have a decent idea where you stand. If you're someone who's consistently turning in discussion posts, you did well in the first writing assignment, and you've done well in the exam thus far, I would predict you would continue to do those things. But, if you're someone who needs these last grades to do well, you've got 2 weeks really to make it happen. So there you go. So finish the paper once you're done, and then read chapters 19 and 20. Think about your own death and talk about it. Don't talk about your own death. Talk about how you think about death, I should say, for our last discussion post. So, and that'll be it for week 16. 2 weeks left. And then we're moving on to week 17, exam week. It's been a lot of fun. I'll wait and give my sappy goodbyes until then. But I'll leave it at that. It's kind of a longer video than usual. Please let me know if you have any questions, any concerns from your readings, or otherwise before next week. Otherwise, I'll talk to you then. All right, take care. Bye.